The Florence Swimming noise work that I do specifically is all taught through nature imagery. And several of the dancers who are working in this piece have traveled with me up to Connecticut and studied that work intensely during the summertime in the forest where we live in tents and dance in our tunics outdoors all day and get sort of deeply connected to both plant and animal imagery and movement. The feminist theme was also something that was deeply inspiring to me, and the idea of bringing work into a space with this concept of this empathic race of these hybrid plant female interspecies creatures. It just sounds incredibly utopic. And I really was interested in how Saya was talking about this concept of speculative fiction and also kind of building these futuristic utopias. And so some of the ideas that I started working with had to do with the theme of care, and of ritual, and of being able to be in a rhythm of both giving and receiving, where there's deep listening. And that kind of movement quality is deeply embedded in both the Isadora Duncan dance work that I've spent a long time studying, as well as in the noise rhythm practice. So I also was very interested in bringing the noise concept of sentiency into this space. Because in that work, I'm a dance historian and scholar as well, and I've really been trying to contextualize the Florence Swimming noise work as an early 20th century danced somatic practice. But some of my teachers in that work who were, some of them are laughing because some of them know one of these teachers who's unfortunately no longer with us. But they kept saying, Meg, why are you trying to make this like something else? This is a unique practice, and why are you talking about somatics? Because noise talked about sentiency. And so there's something in that concept of sentiency that has to do with the kind of aliveness of everything that to me, I think that there is a lot of sentiency in this exhibit and in Saya's work, and so I wanted to bring that concept deeply forward. And I was also very interested in her study of the Hudson River painters, that she was kind of reading this idea of speculative fiction, of this sort of futuristic utopia, and how those painters were creating their worlds. And so I thought it would be interesting to bring this kind of early 20th century tunic into this space, because it also evokes this kind of pastoral theme that's also in those paintings. And then as I was also, so I thought a lot about this, and I'll just share one more idea, and then we could take a few questions. But Adira and I went back and forth a lot about sound, and because we knew that there would be a soundscape with the exhibit. We didn't know what it was going to sound like. It is, I often start with music, so as a choreographer, to be invited to do something and then to have the sound part be a big question mark was a little bit of a puzzle to figure out, and so once we knew that it would be okay to bring in some sound to layer in relationship to what you're hearing right now, I started kind of playing around and then felt a little bit into the Celtic theme, because I was wanting to draw on. I was wanting to be aware of all of the different layers of culture that Saya's working with, both with her Japanese ancestry and her African American ancestry, and so kind of bringing that Celtic piece in to live in this space, which is kind of rooted in my personal Scotch-Irish ancestry, with kind of a pagan theme underneath it. Felt like it would be something that could live in a layered way, the way that she's bringing in textile and so many different textures and into her work. So that I thought about this a lot, and I invited these fabulous dancers to join me and to live into this ritualized experience. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Yeah. We may have time for a question or two. I don't know if there are questions. Adair is our timekeeper. So, yeah.
Thank you. I'm also an Isadora Duncan dancer, and Meg is my friend and one of my teachers. And I was really interested, as I know Bev is, in the way that you drew on Duncan's choreography, you know, Furies and Nocturne and all. And I was wondering how you made those choices.
Thank you, Alice. So Alice is a Duncan Dance colleague of mine, and she has a good eye because she noticed that I cited some repertory from Isadora Duncan's work in the context of this piece, and that's what I was wanting to do, even if it's not necessarily going to be legible to people who aren't deeply familiar with that work. To have some moments of citation of moments in Isadora's choreography that I felt had themes that were also resonant within the exhibit, and specifically the nocturne theme. And so there was a section where we had some dancers lay on the floor, and then another dancer stood behind them, and that dance is a duet. It's often, that moment has kind of an iconic gesture in it that really has to do with, you know, it's kind of a resurrection theme. Sometimes that dance is called Angel and Spirit Rising. But in the context of this exhibit, for me, it was also a lot about a sense of care and a sense of community and a sense of not being able to exist outside of interdependence. And so I appreciate that you also, you know, that you're able to see those moments too. Yeah. Anybody else? You're probably full. All right, well, thank you so much. Yeah.